Welcome in to Texans Today. I'm your host, Jeremy Chuggs, and coming up on today's program, 3 under-the-radar free agents the Texans could sign on offense. I'm taking a look at it on today's show, but first, I had a little argument/conversation with some people in the office. They're saying Dallas Mexican food better than Houston Mexican food. I said no way. So, to prove me right and them wrong, let me know down in the comment section, what is the best Mexican food spot in Houston? Next time I go down there to visit the fam, I want to go hit up a couple new spots as well. So drop in the comment section the best Mexican food spot in Houston. It could be a chain. It could be a mom and pop shop. I want to know. And if you're outside of Houston, I want to know what's the best Mexican food spot in your area. Get down in the comment section and let me know as we get right into the nitty-gritty of today's show. Some under-the-radar free agent signings. First up, Gerald Everett, the tight end formerly with the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, I know what you're saying. Well, we don't want Gerald Everett. Why can't we just re-sign Dalton Schultz? Well, Gerald Everett could be considerably more cheaper than Dalton Schultz would be in free agency. Has had a couple decent years, kind of just sits in that middle tier of tight ends year in and year out. This past year, 51 receptions, 411 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And like I said, over the past 4 seasons, he's been pretty steady in that middle range, getting anywhere from 400 to 600 yards, 3 to 4 touchdowns a year. He's not a guy that's going to be like a Pro Bowl, All-Pro tight end, but he's a guy that's a good filler, player at the tight end position. He's going to be able to get you, 400 to 500 yards, a couple touchdowns, and I think he would pair nicely with Brevin Jordan as like a 1-2 combo if that's the route that the Texans go. And according to Spotrac, his contract projection would be around 2 years, $17.4 million. So that's $8.6 million annually. And the big question is, whenever you're looking at Gerald Everett, do you sign somebody like him, maybe a little bit of a cheaper option, or do you go with what you know in Dalton Schultz? Well, that leads me to this question right here. Will the Texans re-sign Dalton Schultz? Look into that crystal ball of yours and let me know. Will the Texans re-sign the tight end Dalton Schultz? Give me a Y for yes, an N for no. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get an ad break on YouTube, perfect timing. Go down and let me know your thoughts. And like I said, Schultz could be a little bit more expensive than Everett. According to Spotrac, his annual salary could land around $11.3 million. And I think it might balloon to a little bit more than that if a team that is needy of a tight end is looking to upgrade, because Dalton Schultz is the best tight end in free agency, in my opinion, this offseason. If we look at his past year with the Houston Texans, 59 receptions, 635 yards, 5 touchdowns. That's all while missing a couple games due to injury. Dalton Schultz was a good safety blanket for C.J. Stroud in his rookie year. And if the Texans do choose to re-sign Schultz, I don't think it'll be a bad move. But if they're looking to spend big in free agency elsewhere, maybe they go a little bit cheaper at the tight end position. And coming up, I actually have 2 more under-the-radar free agents that the Texans could look at this offseason. But first, got to show some love to our sponsor of today's video, and that is Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. It's as easy as this, folks. You choose 2 or more players, choose more or less on their projected stat types, and place your entry. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And some of the reasons why I absolutely love Prize Picks, it's daily fantasy sports made easy. It's the largest daily fantasy sports app in North America. They have daily specials and discounts like Taco Tuesday. They have demon picks as well. Picks that give you a better payout if you choose those. Also, when you use our link, prizepicks.com/CLNS, it's a $100 deposit match. They have NFL. Now that that's gone, they have the NBA. They have NHL. MLB's right around the corner. Heck, even UFC and NASCAR, which is filming right now, or which is going on right now as we're filming. I had a couple people in the office that put Prize Picks down on the Daytona 500 today. You could do that, or you could have some fun in other places. Just do it with Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Code CLNS for that $100 deposit match for first-time users. Go check it out today. Prize Picks is daily fantasy sports made easy. Now, number 2 on the list is DAndre Swift, running back formerly of the Philadelphia Eagles. Had a nice year in the city of brotherly love and now is a free agent. And I know you're probably getting tired of the Texans being linked to every single running back in free agency. Like we've already talked about Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs. But DAndre Swift could be an option for the Texans if they're looking to upgrade at the running back spot, but not spend huge money in free agency. If we look at his stats over the past 4 years, this past year, arguably his best in a contract year, over 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns, 50 first downs for the Philadelphia Eagles. A lot of people in Philly were clamoring for DAndre Swift to get even more carries this past season. And like I said, there is a bevy of free agent options out there. Also, Tony Pollard, Austin Eckler, Gus Edwards, A.J. Dillon, our own Devin Singletary is on that list as well. So if the Texans really want to upgrade in free agency and look to sign a running back, Swift could be a pretty decent option. Spotrac put his contract projection at 4 years, $27 million, which is a little crazy. I don't know if running backs are going to be getting 4-year contracts. I could see him getting more of a 2 or 3 year deal with the Texans, but that puts them at around $6.7 million annually. So the question is, I think the Texans are going to have a new running back next year, whether that's in free agency or the draft. My question to you at home is, who will be the Texans' starting running back next season? Do you think they're going to go ahead and re-sign Devin Singletary or let Dameon Pierce have a bounce-back year? Or will they sign one of the big-name free agents or spend some draft capital on a running back, maybe in the 2nd or 3rd round? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Predict it. Who's going to be the Texans' starting running back next season? This third option for under-the-radar free agent signings on the offensive side of the football is Kevin Dotson, offensive lineman. And I know what you're saying, no wide receiver. Well, I'm going to have a wide receiver video coming out very soon, breaking down all the wide receivers in free agency. So I wanted to kind of break down some other positions of need. And in my personal opinion, even though the Texans do have a lot of bodies there, offensive guard is still a need for the Houston Texans. They have Shaq Mason at right guard, but that left guard spot, Scruggs didn't necessarily impress me a ton. Now, obviously, he's a rookie. He was hurt for half the year. He could definitely improve this offseason. You have Jarrett Patterson coming off a rookie campaign where he looked really good at the center spot. And then you have Kenyon Green, who the Texans spent a first-round pick just a couple years ago. But if they don't like Green, if they don't really trust Scruggs, could they look at Kevin Dotson? Now, Spotrac, like I said, it's just a roundabout of what they think these guys are going to make. Their contract projection for Kevin Dotson was actually pretty high. 4 years, $65.9 million, $16.4 million annually. Now, if it's that much, I don't think the Texans should make this move whatsoever. But if Kevin Dotson is able to sign maybe a 1-2 year deal, a little bit cheaper price tag, I wouldn't mind it at all, because if we look at the Texans' offensive line depth chart, like I said, Scruggs and Kenyon Green don't give me the most confidence whatsoever. So if you can bring in a guy who had a really good year with the Los Angeles Rams after being exiled from the Pittsburgh Steelers, an overall PFF grade of 85.2, run blocking grade of 88.8, pass block 68.8 or 68.3, which isn't the best, and 4 sacks allowed. But I still think Kevin Dotson would be an upgrade over anybody the Texans have on their roster right now. That's all I have for you on today's program. Thank you all for joining me here on Texans Today. If you haven't already, give me a follow on Twitter at Jeremy Chuggs. And make sure, as always, you hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 20K subs by the start of next season. So if you haven't already, go down and hit that sub button for daily Texans videos, 100% free every single day of the year. Go down and join Texans Today.